the next category we can talk about is actually the reading test. See, when we talk about reading test, we know we got 1 hour and we have around 3 paragraphs or 3 passages, okay, that we'll be reading out. Now here, what exactly is important is you need to practice how to read widely and how to go ahead and understand the theme in all these passages. Now to do that, what you have to do, you need to increase your vocabulary as well as you need to also increase your knowledge of various texts. See, the text could be of anything. It could be from newspaper, academic articles, it could be from other fictions, okay, stories. So you need to start reading a lot of materials because that will give you a pattern. Let's say if you are good in terms of reading academic books, it will tell you out like how well it could be described and you will be able to understand it. Now, next category that we need to work, not category I'm talking about. Next type of practice that we have to work it out is how to go for a scanning and skimming those particular paragraphs. Like what I mean to say is like you need to learn the techniques, how well you can quickly read out and you can identify which are the answers or the related important words or important sentences out there. A best example, a quick one I'll give you out is, let's say you are reading a particular paragraph or passage. There you find out one particular word is written in italic, or let's say an alphabet is written in italic. That means that's important. Let's say if it's written in bold, that means it's important. If there is a name, that means it's important. The questions might be related to that. So that's how you have to go and analyze it. And the third thing is that you have to go and answer practicing those questions. So you have to ensure it out that when you're practicing reading test, you need to read wide range of things. Then you need to go and practice how to go ahead and read them and understand them properly, quickly relate the sentences, the meanings. And third thing is you need to practice pretty well in order to answer those questions which will be coming. There'll be questions of yes or no, questions of truth or false or not there. The questions will be coming out about entitling the particular paragraphs. So all these questions you need to practice. The more you practice the types of questions, that'll be easier for you to answer them in your reading skill test. Next comes about writing. Of course, it's one of my favorite. See, writing is again for 60 minutes. But there are two kinds of writing is there. One is task 1, another is a task 2. Here the most important thing, as we talked about in our previous video as well, for writing, you must understand the assessment criteria, like how exactly the examiner will read your essay. Okay, the examiner, you will write, but the examiner will read your essay and what exactly he or she is expecting from it. First thing is about the task achievement. If there is a particular set of tasks is given out, expected from you, it should be answered, it should be covered. Let's say you are describing a graph, it should be properly described on that. Okay. Second is about when we talk about the coherence and cohesion part, that interrelation about the sentences, that the sentences should be properly structured, that there should be a beginning, there should be a middle, there should be an end. In the lexical part, we talked about like how well you can work with the word vocabulary. Okay, the word vividity, we call it out, like how well you can structurize your words, that it should be interesting, there should be a freshness in that, it should be new, it should be exciting to go ahead and read the particular passage. It's not like a repeated words are coming out. There is a set of 2-3 words which you're repeating again and again. That's not how it is. Next comes about the grammatical range and as well as accuracy. So when you're writing, you have to be very specific about the tense factors, about the verb, adjective, adverb, okay, about the subject line, the predicate, about the sentence structure, how you're organizing it, whether you're writing in an active voice or passive voice, all these things you need to be very focused on. That's how you're going to score well. Okay, so of course in the next videos we'll be talking about the writing in a little in depth. Today we are giving just a gist of it. And the last particular category, and of course the most important, the speaking test. For speaking, as we know, that the questions, patterns and all will come, okay, how the questions will be organized. The most important thing is you need to practice regularly of talking to someone. That's the most important thing I will call. Because if you're not practicing, if you're not talking to someone, then the IELTS test is somewhere, as I talked before, you will be encountering a physical person, whether it's a male or female. You have to be going face to face with the examiner. So if you do not have a practice of talking to a human being, you may go blank. So it's very important for you. You need to ensure that you need to practice regularly, and you should be engaging in conversation. See, in the test, you'll be getting questions from different sorts of you. But the most important thing is it will be about you. So about you, about your home, about your study, your work, your interests, okay, your plans. So you need to go ahead and try to find out a person, okay, and figure it out how you can go ahead and have a conversation with him in a regular basis. Then second type of practice we can do is like we can record our own voice, okay, in an audio tape, and then we can go ahead and listen to it again. That will help us to understand that whether we are pronouncing it properly or not, whether I'm getting stuck while speaking, am I explaining properly, okay, am I having grammatical errors. So all these things you can only figure it out when you can record your own voice, and then you can listen to it again, and then you can compare. If you are listening to a particular audio for speaking, then you can compare it out. How fluent is that particular audio and how fluent is yours? That's the way you can improve. And then of course, you need to familiarize with a lot of topics, because the question that will arrive, okay, which we call about the cue card, in that you don't know whether it will be related to your studies or it will be related to general awareness. It will be related to anything. It might be a birthday, it might be a house, it might be a travel destination, anything. So you need to ensure, like how we talked about, like in order to go ahead and improve on your reading test, you need to increase your variety of knowledge, okay, how vast you can cover the areas. Similarly, for speaking also, you need to ensure it out that you'll be increasing your knowledge about different topics. That will help you out, okay. Now, these are about the common factors that we can discuss about, okay, in the coming videos. Most important thing, as we worked on, time management is very important. You have to dedicate a set of time. And every day you need to go ahead and practice out that how well you can start the practice on the particular time and end it. At least 1 to 2 hours you have to dedicate yourself. Of course, you have to go through the instructions, because again and again you have to practice the particular question sets in each category. In that way, while you're preparing for that, you know that this is how the question is going to come. So you need to understand the instructions properly. You need to read the instructions carefully, and then you need to understand it, you need to answer it. That is how multiple practice are required. And then, of course, the most important thing is you need to be focused. Shouldn't be overexcited. For that, we call it out, like a lot of people will say that, hey, I'm practicing myself. It's good to go for self-practice, but I'll recommend that you should always go ahead and contact any particular local instructor or online instructor. Okay, you can take coaching online, you can do a proper practice. In that way, two benefits comes. Just by practicing alone can help you out, but when you're practicing with a group, it's always beneficial, because you will have 10 people's ideas. And then you need an instructor, maybe for a few days, maybe for a few weeks. It's up to you. But I will recommend, like, you should go to an instructor or to a teacher to learn IELTS. The reason is very important. Why? You need someone to rectify you. See, what if you're making a mistake but you're not able to recognize it? Because no one else is there to comment on that, whether it's good or bad. If you have someone who's your friend, the friend will always tell you, oh yes, you have done it good, you have done it excellent. That is good for encouragement, but sometimes you have to also get constructive feedback. If I have something to improve, then I need comments. I need to go ahead and get the proper feedback from my audience. That is how I will improve in my next video. If I'm not getting any feedback, then what will happen? I will not improve. So you need to stay focused, you need to stay motivated, you need to work on improvement, and of course you need to accept how much you have improved. You need to observe, and as well as you need to rectify that in future. So practice hard. Weekly you have to go ahead and ensure it out. You're going for a full-fledged exam. And then of course that you need someone, a tutor or an English teacher, probably an IELTS teacher, whether it's offline, whether it's online. You can go ahead and do a reference check. You can share your the question answer sheets and everything, so that they can give you feedback. That's more important, and you should accept feedback and you can improvise on that. So overall, this is exactly, I will call it out for today. And of course in future we'll be bringing out the individual sets, okay, in this particular group of video that I'm coming out with, that I call like IELTS preparation videos. And of course, if you like the video, you can go ahead and click on the like button. You can subscribe to our channel so you can keep on watching and getting notification about the videos. And we will go ahead and bring you out a lot of informative things. If you need any kind of specific information, whether about IELTS or whether about admission to any university, you have any query, you can go ahead and write it out on the comment box. We can definitely answer you on that. Okay, till then, take care. Bye.